Good morning and welcome to the EPA's 4th Circular Economy Conference. It's great that so many people are attending both in person and virtually, like myself, to the conference today. We have a full house in the Aviva, I know, and hundreds of people participating online, which really shows the level of interest in the circular economy and what's happening in Ireland at the moment on this. The EPA have put a huge amount of effort into developing a really thought-provoking programme today with a great range of national and international speakers. So what I would encourage you to do is not only to sit back and listen to the talks, but definitely get engaged in the discussions, both with the speakers and amongst yourselves, of course, during coffee and tea breaks for those of you who are there in person. Our agenda this year has a particular focus on consumption and behavioural change, really this in the context of circularity. But we also wanted to focus on the importance of reuse and repair in delivering local and supply chain circular economy solutions. And now more than ever, the attention needs to turn to real and tangible solutions. We know the problem, but now we need to move on to actually addressing the issues on the ground. And disappointingly, in Ireland, we have a high consumption economy as compared to many of our European neighbours. Our current consumption of products, goods and services is unsustainable, with supply chain climate emissions and waste continuing to grow. So really our current economic model generates far too much waste in Ireland. The EPA is the competent authority for waste reporting, and we recognise and have highlighted the concerning trends and urgent need to address and disrupt the link between economic growth and waste generation. As our waste continues to grow at an unsustainable rate, of course, it's also undermining our ability to recycle at the levels that we should. The EPA has recently released reports on packaging waste, and this shows that generation has grown 3 times faster than recycling. So we're kind of running, if only we're even running to stand still, but we're not even doing that. We're recycling more than ever, but we're not keeping up with the volumes being generated. So therefore, tackling generation has to be a primary focus. And in the context of preventing waste, I've highlighted packaging waste, but also we need to look at things like construction waste, municipal waste, and food waste, and these need to be addressed. And opportunities to prevent waste through reuse and repair must also become part of our daily lives and supply chains. We need to normalise reuse and repair and reducing consumption, because these are two sides of the same coin. For this to happen, we need to support local, place-based enterprises that provide essential services to support circularity. For those of us who are old enough, we'll remember bringing our shoes down to the cobbler to get mended, even things like bags being mended, etc. And all of this worked very well in the past. So, we need to now preserve and enhance precious skills that were probably appreciated more in days gone by, and also look at innovations in this space. So these types of enterprises are vital. They're an enduring part of our workforce. And you're going to hear from some of the champions in this space at the conference today. And I know from previous conferences, this always generates a whole load of interest because people really relate to the activities of these type of enterprises, find them really interesting, and it also generates new ideas for others as well. So really looking forward to that today. But in addition, we've decided to take one step further. We're creating a local circular solutions network of current as well as past participants so that we can share the knowledge, learnings and challenges in a meaningful and practical way. So we're hoping that this network will be a lasting one out of this annual conference and will support local ecosystem of circular enterprises in cities and towns across Ireland. As I mentioned, waste generation in Ireland is undermining our recycling. Our data shows that recycling rates for key streams have stagnated and in some cases have actually reversed. It's going to be a significant challenge to meet EU recycling targets for 2025 and beyond, especially for municipal waste and plastic packaging waste. And it's really important here to highlight that it's not meeting an EU target for its own sake. This is the right thing to do. We shouldn't be generating as much waste as we are, and we need to limit the amount of material that goes into disposal routes. So the EPA has recently published our most recent national waste characterisation studies for both household and commercial waste. The results paint a very disappointing picture, with little, if any, progress being made in improving segregation of waste from the previous study in 2018. Put simply, the right wastes are not going into the right bins. Approximately 2/3 of waste in the household and commercial bins should be in other bins, and this urgently needs to be addressed. We need to look at motivations for separating out waste. We also need to make sure that the right bins are available to whether it be households or the commercial sector. So looking at both making the systems available and then the supports and the guidance there to make sure that people know what to put in each bin. So finally, since our last Circular Economy conference in 2022, the agency's programme has made really significant progress with regard to the development of national end-of-waste and byproduct criteria for construction-based materials. I know this is of huge interest to an awful lot of people in our audience here today. And I'm really happy to report that national end-of-waste criteria for recycled aggregates and national byproduct criteria for Site 1 asphalt have both been approved by the European Commission. They're going to be finalised now and published by the EPA in October. In addition, we've heavily engaged with stakeholders on draft national byproduct criteria for greenfield soil and stone, and we're hoping to finalise that in Q1 of next year. So when implemented, these 3 projects will serve to tackle and reduce construction waste, which is the largest waste stream in the country, and should also support and drive the development of markets for recyclable materials. And we see these decisions as providing a template for industry and businesses to follow and build on the work the agency has already started. It is really important that the construction sector really take these, drive this forward and manage waste at construction sites appropriately. Because this is the type of progress that is going to be needed if Ireland is to move in a meaningful way from a linear to a circular economy. So finally, through our Circular Economy programme, the EPA is actively delivering a comprehensive programme of work to support Ireland's transition to a low carbon and circular economy. We're working proactively with governments, with local authorities, with partner organisations and the public to deliver a speedy transition. It's all our responsibility and we all need to take ownership and we all need to work together. An Irish economy where materials are designed, produced, used in a circular, sustainable system will support climate emission reductions and ultimately let's not waste this opportunity to deliver on a really positive vision for Ireland into the future. So I'm hoping that you enjoy the conference today, that you find all the talks and interactions interesting and provocative, and to thank you all and to thank the speakers for their contributions.